Yo, what's happening, world? My name's Rhymin Flowers, and I know it's been a hot minute since y'all seen a video collage from me, but I fell back off of it purposely because I got things that I'm working on and things that I'm going through in my personal life. So I'm setting that disclaimer out there. I didn't forget about it. I'm not discarding it. It's just I'm working on. I'm in the progress of just getting situated in my personal life and in my personal endeavors, you know. And with that being stated, I'm gonna just go right into the topic. Okay, so I've been hearing a lot about these domestic violence cases and how now people are really taking notice and acknowledging that the domestic abuse that a lot of men go through. Not that I've ever been a victim of it and things of that nature, but it's unfortunate and bittersweet that it took a celebrity such as Johnny Depp going through what he went through with that cunt girlfriend of his. What's her name? Amber or something? Anyways, you see, now people are starting to recognize the obscenities and the brutalities that go on, the fuck shit. And now it seems like the double standards are being curtailed. It's not as heavy as it used to be. In addition, I also thought about a double standard that was laid even with the likes of Terry Crews. Speaking of abuse or assaults and whatnot, like Gabrielle Union, when she was on America Got Talent, and I guess she had some sort of situation or fallout, and you know, like many black women these days who have that feminist mindset, she blamed it on what? Racism and sexism. I'm not saying that these things don't exist. I'm saying that there's a lot of hyperbole from it. People are very hyperbolic about it, especially a woman like her. I'm gonna digress just for a moment. You see, a bitch like you shouldn't even talk because you did something fucked up. And Dwyane Wade should be ashamed of himself for even simping as hard as his ass did when he was going savage on Terry Crews. He savagely treated Terry Crews. No, you simped hard. This was just simp on simp crime. You know how you have cats out here who talk about black on black crime? This was simp on simp crime right here. And I think about it. I think about how the bar has been set so low, and this is how I know that you simp ass niggas don't even respect women. Because if you actually had respect for women, you would hold them to a standard instead of giving them an out or trying to look past and deflect what they do. Think about it. Even Judah's guilty of that bullshit when he says that women are like children with titties. Never have you heard me like propagate or, you know, emphasize on that notion. You've never heard me do that. You've never heard a lot of cats do that. You've never heard Brother Kel do it. You haven't heard my man College do it. You haven't heard a lot of people do it. So even though I agree on a lot of things the brother says, that in itself is giving them an out. And I refuse to give anybody an out because nobody should be provided a whole bunch of excuses at all. Y'all can't talk about, nobody can't talk about they want to live in a justly world, but then you either trivialize fuck shit that goes on or you just completely look past it and have your head buried in the sand. Excuse me. Back to the original point and the premise of the video. Yeah, a lot of people go through domestic abuse cases, man. I'm reading up, I'm looking up these social experiments that they do down in Britain, and you have a woman either verbally or physically abusing the dude, and they look past it, and then they do it in juxtaposition, and they come to comfort the woman. I understand that women are typically more fragile than men, typically by nature, but See, we have to come to a common ground. Either we have to acknowledge and accept our differences as a community, as people, as men and women. Either we have to accept it, or this whole cycle and this whole rabbit hole of living under this illusion and trying to fight a phantom off of inequality is just going to keep perpetuating. We ain't going to get nowhere. Real talk. That's all that's going to happen. You're just going to have people who idly worship, pussy worship, mother goddess like Gabrielle Union. This nigga's so pussy whipped, and I'm talking about Dwyane Wade, that he can't even see. He doesn't even want to acknowledge what the obscenity is like. Zion should never have been. See, it's like he was auctioned last year when that happened. It's not even just about homosexuality. No child, period. Like, whether you're promoting hetero or homosexuality, you should never be promoting any form of sexualizing a child. This is a preteen. That's some. Now, see, when niggas want to talk about pedophilia, that right there is pedophilia. You're opening doors up for that. You have a bunch of enablers, people who are on some real hypocritical bullshit, like Oprah, this bitch right here. She wants to be hugged up and kissed up. You kissed up with Donald Trump. You kissed up with Harvey Weinstein. You let this small hat go and do all this fuck shit. Speaking of Terry Crews, because, you know, he was a victim of that circumstance as well. You don't have no documentary, but you had a documentary for Michael Jackson, though, right? Not saying that Michael Jackson didn't have things to answer for. The things that Michael Jackson did was definitely questionable, with the whole Neverland Ranch and all that stuff. But see, this is how you know. And then Gayle King, when she was pressing about Kobe's, the whole rape situation, I was talking to Brother Kel about it, and then Brother Kel was sharing with me, this happened like in the early mid-2000s, how the bitch laughed about it. She laughed and joked about it. It's the same thing, just like when Tupac went through what he went through in his rape case. This bitch went on that other small hat, Vlad's channel, talking about it. And that's how you know you can't trust them. You can't, like, a lot of these women use women who are genuinely victims of rape. You trivialize that matter by trying to exploit that matter and punish people who don't even do anything to you, who aren't even committing the act that you're proclaiming. Fuck out of here with that. I ain't got time to be politically correct. I ain't got time to act like no globalist and say we are the world, we are the children. I ain't got time for none of that fuck shit, man. But, hey, man, Terry Crews is also getting slammed for it too, but I don't feel bad for Terry Crews, man. He did too much simping. And Terry Crews was too big to not confront Harvey Weinstein. For real. You couldn't have at least checked him on a verbal level. If you weren't gonna do it on a physical, you could have at least done it to that small hat on a verbal level, but you didn't, though. So I don't feel bad. You are a disgrace to black men. As much as I loved watching Everybody Hates Chris, and as much as I enjoyed watching Terry Crews in films, man, seeing him as an adult, it's like you just gotta shake your head and you're just so disillusioned. But it's funny though that he can say what he says about Hollywood. He can say what he says about people who had to deal with molestation or rape or sexual harassment and sexual assaults and things of the sort. But then say, America's Got Talent didn't treat me like that. See, like I said, I'm never gonna deny racism, and I'm not saying that there aren't things that aren't considered sexist either. But I'm not gonna be spewing this hyperbolic rhetoric about it like these feminists, like these social justice warriors and these white liberals and these black liberals, etc., etc. You get the point. I'm not gonna do that BS either, this cultural Marxist rhetoric. But I can recognize the injustice that goes on in the world. You know? People pull all these double standards, these hypocrisies, these confirmation bias to let you know what they really on. If Gabrielle Union really had a righteous heart and was really a considerate person, then what happened to Zion would have never happened to him last year. But that's how you know that people have their own agendas. Gayle King, Oprah. A lot of these people can't even be trusted. If there is a such thing as white supremacy, it's been shown that you black women would be the surrogate mothers of it. Ain't that what Big B. Kell once said? Yeah, that is what Brother Kell said. Rhetorical statement. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. That's all I'm gonna say for now. Peace out, I'm gone. This was a mini rant.